We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Happy 4th of July, my friends, and may God bless America. Hey, good morning and happy 4th of July, everybody. It is so great to be with you all here in beautiful Surfside, California. It's a gorgeous day, and I am so happy that you're taking a little bit of time out of your busy 4th of July to spend some time with us, because we have got some tremendous fishing going on for each and every one of you. That bluefin tuna bite at its apex right now. And it's not only San Diego-based boats, it's LA Orange County-based boats that are in range of that fish. We'll talk about that. Some good fishing going on south of the border. We've seen some excellent fishing down that way. And of course, up and down the coast, we're finally starting to see some barracuda in the LA Orange County area, and some good sand bass fishing. One boat had limits of sand bass. The Channel Islands, there's some halibut. We're still seeing lots of white sea bass, but are we catching them? And of course, we'll be live from the Island Spirit later this morning with you all, and then we'll have a recap of our day as we're on board the Island Spirit. You know what time it is. It's time to honor America, and it's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Man, is that good or what? That is a much deserved cup of coffee, and I hope you're having one, or whatever it is you imbibe in here this morning, tea or hot water, as we used to do in mainland China all the time. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, please subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. And if you don't mind, that would be great. If you tick that little bell, you'll be notified when there is new content. And that's important because there's a lot of breaking news going on as we speak. Also, we are on Instagram, Facebook, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and TikTok, all for you. Did I say Instagram? Also Instagram, my friends. So again, we have a lot of coverage for you, millions and millions of views now, and we owe that all to each and every one of you. Just wanted to say a couple of words here on America's birthday. You know, the other night I was honored to speak at Christ Cathedral, beautiful cathedral in Orange, California, and I followed my life along with Father Ignatius from my high school days. I followed him down to Costa Rica for a year where I did lay missionary work. Then I went to Mexico for a couple of years. And where this takes me is that in those countries when I was visiting, and I have traveled a lot since that time, I met some of the most wonderful people in the world. I met my wife in Costa Rica many years after my lay missionary service. But I met people who were so wonderful in Mexico, in Costa Rica, in the Philippines. You name it, they're out there. They're great people. And I saw how some of them were stuck in this poverty and they were never ever going to get out of that. And it was then that I realized, when I was 19 years old, that I was wasting my time, not getting good grades in school, not doing well. And when I came back, I started to excel academically and do more and more in the community. And so when I say this is the greatest country on the face of the earth, I mean it. You have all the opportunities at your disposal. You can do anything you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. You're smart enough. We're all Americans, and this is the greatest place on the face of the earth. And part of being the greatest place on the face of the earth is reaching out to help others. And so many of you helped me to do that. We primarily have been working in Mexico, but we've done a lot with our veterans, and we've done a lot with kids, and we're going to continue all that work. The United States of America, happy birthday. It's so great to celebrate the 4th of July with you. All right, let's get into it because there's a lot going on. Let me mention to you that on the 6th of January, I'll be right here on this beach, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and we will be having a surf fishing get together where all of us get together and have some fun. We'll have a little donation box if you choose to make a donation to our Mexico efforts. That would be great. Don't worry about it. It's not mandatory at all. I'm going to have breakfast burritos for you. Grab a breakfast burrito, catch a fish, have some fun, and you're going to hear it's very lively here right now. Peter Osborne and I spent some time down here together today, and it was flat. Excellent fishing, no question about it. There's a lot of yellowfin croaker here. We caught some sharks, and we saw evidence of a lot of fish, so that is looking good. All right, Ensenada, 70 miles below the border in that beautiful coastal Mexican town. They're catching bluefin tuna down there. Pongueros that go offshore have had hit and miss fishing on the bluefin tuna. You know, there's some fish that are 18 to 25 pounds. There are some other areas of fish of 40 to 60 pounds. And then we also have some fish up over 100, even up over 200 pounds. Trolling Mad Mac lures is probably the best way to get a bite there in Ensenada on that bluefin tuna. That seems to be the way that most of the boys down there have been getting their bites. However, you can roll up on a foamer of fish and throw a popper or throw one of the dart jigs like a Colt Sniper or a Daiwa Sakana, like 120 gram, and get a bite on those also. You never know what grade of fish you're going to hook. So fish heavy line whenever you're throwing a popper or an iron. I suggest nothing less than 60 pound. Keep that in mind. Now, there's also some big bonita down there. We're getting a few more kelp patty yellowtail starting to get into the picture down there. There's some really good fishing. And then if you want to fish calico and sand bass, or you want to fish some barracuda, or even those local yellowtail, they're nice 15 to 20 pound fish. That is available to you also. There's a lot of options in Ensenada right now, so I highly recommend you take advantage of it and get on that bite. It's really, really good. Let's move you up to San Diego, and I'm going to talk LA, Orange County, and San Diego because they all have access to this bluefin tuna. Now, some of that fish is down the Baja coast. Obviously, the San Diego boys are going to fish that, but we have fish all the way up to San Clemente Island, and it is flat good. The nighttime has been really excellent. We've seen full speed, big fish biting at night, and that continues. And I'm talking 100 to 200 plus pound bluefin tuna. Now, that is not all the only fish that are biting at night. You have that smaller grade fish biting at night also. Depends on where you fish and what school you get on. But the opportunities are incredible at night. And it still seems like those smaller profile jigs are working best of all. Sometimes as light as 200 grams, 250, 350. Most of the time it's in that range. We have very little wind in the forecast. So it looks like we're going to have nice weather for that bluefin tuna offshore. It really looks good again for tonight. And Kevin Kwan out there in the Independence, putting the wood to him from Young's Fishing Tackle. Man, he's such a great guy. And it's so good to see them having some superior fishing on board the Independence. So really good stuff going on that nighttime bite. Excellent fishing, several different zones. If I had to lay this out for you, it used to be like we had 2 zones of fish. Now we have several areas of fish. Some of it's 18 to 25 pounds. Some of it is 40 to 60 pounds. Some of it is up to 200 plus pounds. It's really remarkable. And it's not only a nighttime bite, it is biting in the daytime. Also, we're seeing some incredible fishing in the daytime. Guys catching their limits in the daytime, which bodes well for many boats. I'm going to say that this is the apex of the bluefin tuna bite right now that is going on. We are seeing the best bite of the season right now. Several boats getting limits of fish and all these multiple zones popping up. Aztec, limits on the bluefin tuna. Highliner, 3 fish short of limits on the bluefin tuna. The Spirit of Adventure, 66 bluefin, a 215 pounder on there. A really beautiful catch on the Old Glory with limits of bluefin tuna. Polaris Supreme, 40 fish in the 100 to 180 pound class. Can it get any better than that? I don't think so. And then you've got the Pride out of 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. And they had really some great fishing, not only catching 21 white sea bass, 1 yellowtail and a halibut, a bunch of calico bass and sheepshead, but they had 12 bluefin tuna in the 100 to 170 pound class. Wow, that is some great fishing. Tonight, the Amigos going out of 22nd Street Landing. Chef Jason will be there to help you on deck and cook some great meals for you and also entertain you. So really some excellent stuff going on. Now, full day boats out of San Diego have been getting some really good hits on that bluefin tuna. Yesterday was a little bit slower for the boys as San Diego was out bumping around 33 guys, 17 bluefin tuna, not bad. Liberty had 8 bluefin tuna. A lot of these guys had limits on the BFT yesterday. It's up and down. Sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't. I say you go take your chances, mix with it. Some yellowtail at times, also some of that bigger bonita. It's really looking fantastic right now. I am loving what we are seeing on that tuna. Unfiled taxes? Naughty you. You should turn to our friend Tim Marquez at A Best Income Tax. Tim has been doing income tax for 35 years, and he will treat you really, really well. Tim Marquez, give him a call today. And if you're having heating and or air conditioning issues, you'll want to talk to our friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John's a great guy, a Friedman Adventures family member. He'll also take really good care of you. All right, let's talk the islands. And I'm telling you, the Coronado Islands are looking better and better all the time. We're seeing more and more yellowtail there. The Mission Belle had 15 yellowtail yesterday. Nice hit for them. There's also some calico bass there. We've seen some excellent rock fishing. The Coronado Islands definitely coming to life and looking better and better all the time. Mission Belle's focused in there and a couple of other guys. Until this offshore things gets a little more consistent for them, they're going to stick with the islands, and they're getting good signal there. Seeing a lot of fish. San Clemente Island, how on earth can you beat it? There has been some great fishing there. Thunderbird, 22 yellowtail. Nice hit for them. And there's bluefin crawling all over there. You're going to get a shot at that. The Eldorado's trying to run on that. Also out of Long Beach sport fishing, you've got the shot at the yellows. You got some calico bass. And you're also going to get a shot at some bluefin tuna if it continues to play out the way it has. So Clemente looking good. Cat, we're seeing some really good calico bass fishing at Catalina Island. It's been superior. The gale force had excellent calico bass fishing. The Pursuit's been pounding away at the calico bass also. It's been very, very good at Catalina for them. And they also have a mix of, like blue perch and whitefish and sheep's head, a few barracuda, some yellowtail from time to time. It's pretty darn good fishing going on there at Catalina Island. Up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to see a lot of white sea bass that don't want to bite. Those little devils have been really driving us nuts this year. We continue to see a lot of sea bass, but they just don't settle and bite. Nice hit on the halibut yesterday and more barracuda as the Aloha Spirit had 15 halibut. Nice hit at 75 barracuda and some other species to go along with it, some bass and sheep's head and whitefish, stuff like that. So that sounds pretty good to me. I got our fingers crossed a little bit later. I'm going to be doing a special update with you saying, hey, Island Spirit, man, we roped the bass today. We roped the barracuda, and we had a few halibut and white sea bass too. I'm dreaming that the 4th of July is going to be very kind to us. Once again, thanks to everybody who signed up for this trip. We put it together at the very last minute, and so many of you enthusiastically said you would be there, and I'm so happy that I'm going to see you just a little bit later this morning. Outstanding stuff indeed. So up there in the Channel Islands, still copious amounts of rockfish. That rockfish bite has been spectacular. It's really good. Along the coast down in San Diego, we are seeing some spectacular calico bass fishing. A few yellowtail mixed in there from time to time. New Seaforth had a yellowtail in both the morning and afternoon trips yesterday. And they also had very good calico bass fishing. Excellent fishing up there around Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, as that calico bass fight has been pretty darn good. Also, we continue to see good calico fishing, occasional yellowtail down there in that neck of the woods. And the victory, Long Beach Sport Fishing, limits of sand bass here in the LA Orange County area. They also had 40 barracuda. This is the first great signal on sand bass and barracuda that we've had here in 24, and I hope it's a sign of things to come. We see some pretty good calico bass fishing up there around Redondo, Marina del Rey. A lot of scoping and whitefish and that kind of thing for most of this area. But that could be changing with that hit and that score. We'll see what the 4th of July brings. And we'll even have more boats out of the 5th of July. We'll see how that all pans out. And up in the Channel Islands, some pretty good bass and barracuda locally, but a lot of times you're falling back on the rockfish. We'll see how that all goes. All right, in the surf, as I mentioned, there's been some superior, excellent fishing going on. Peter Osborne and I had a lot of fun here in the surf yesterday. We saw fish jumping out of the water. The yellowfin croaker were biting yesterday really, really well. Excellent fishing. As you saw in the morning briefing, it was great and really tremendous fishing going on. A lot of great barred perch fishing in the cooler water areas, and then, which are few and far between right now. We're starting to warm up fast here, 65, 66. 70-degree water in some coastal areas. Some good corbita fishing, occasional halibut going on, spot fin croaker, and a lot of yellowfin croaker biting right now. That is really, really good fishing going on. So we're watching that very closely for you all. Once again, a big fish bait and tackle down there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They're going to have 10% off. Whoa, there's a guy on a fish fishing the surf here right now. They're going to have 10% off for Friedman Adventure family members from now. From the 5th. On the 5th, let me get my head out of my, you know what. On the 5th and the 6th, they're going to have some really excellent deals for you. If a Friedman Adventures family member, anything in the store, whether it's discounted or not, 10% off. So make sure you go down there and grab your bait and grab your tackle. Got caught a big old yellowfin croaker. Screwed up my attention here for a moment. Go down there to Big Fish Bait and Tackle and make sure you get your 10% off. Get your bait and be here on July the 6th at 10 a.m. You want to come earlier? Do it. Come down here at 8 in the morning. I'm just going to be out here at 10 because I got some breakfast burritos to make for you guys. So I'll try to be here a little bit earlier. But come on down. 10 to 1 is when I'll be here on the beach. You can come earlier and stay later. It should be a lot of fun. You just go down to Anderson and Pacific Coast Highway. You'll see that big tower parked somewhere around there or across the street at Peter's Landing. Walk out on the beach, hang a right, and walk down to where you see a playground up toward the houses there. We should be somewhere between Anderson and PCH and the playground. And man, it's been very lively here. If you bring a little small 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile, I'm pretty sure you're going to have some really great fishing indeed. Now, you know, we've been covering Mitchell, halibut man. He's been down there on the Santa Monica Pier. Michael Limon and some other kids were with him yesterday, and they had great fishing again. But it's what Mitchell saw. He said he saw these huge boils way outside. Couldn't tell what they were. He said it looked like bluefin tuna. Now, if it were anybody else, I might question it, but Mitchell knows what he's looking at. He's a seasoned fisherman and really knows well. And I've been wondering, you know, if conditions get right, why won't that bluefin tuna move in to the coastal areas like it used to when I was a young man in Redondo, in the Redondo Canyon? Why has it not moved in there? It's going to occur at some point in time, and maybe Mitchell has seen it before anybody else, and we're going to get a bite on this along the coast. We've seen a few fish taken in past years along the coast, so we'll be watching that for you very, very closely. Don't forget about the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. They are a great rig. They fish Catalina, they fish Santa Barbara, they fish offshore tuna. They do it all. And when they fish offshore, they go with only 11 people. You talk about ultra limited load. It doesn't get any better than that. Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron. And don't forget, you can knock 10% off anything at Promar on their website when you put in FA at checkout. From sand crab catchers, there's a ton of sand crabs here now, to hoops, hoop nets, to gaffs, to anything. Put in FA at checkout at promarahi.com and you'll be able to cash in. All right, we're going to be on board the Island Spirit today, and we'll be bringing you the very latest. Happy birthday, America. Let's celebrate the greatest country on the face of the earth and honor those men and women who have laid their lives down to make this country what it is, to give us that precious gift of freedom, that when you travel the world and see other countries and how things go in some places, you become even more grateful about this great place. God bless America. God bless you. And I hope to see you really, really soon. Happy 4th of July.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Happy 4th, everybody, to the Friedman Adventures family. I send you all my very, very best. Wishing you a great 4th of July, and I hope to see you all really, really soon. God bless America.